Mac stood at the foot of the colossal structure. It was a monster of steel and rope, a monument to challenge. He knew what was at stake: $800,000. More importantly, redemption. He had tasted victory and Mr. Beast challenges before, but defeat had left a bitter aftertaste. $700,000 lost. Then another $800,000 gone. This time failure was not an option. He took a deep breath. The air crackled with anticipation. This was his moment. The crowd roared, a wave of sound washing over him. Their energy was infectious. Mac felt a surge of adrenaline. He was ready. This time he would conquer the beast. The first level loomed. Platforms hung suspended in the air, hundreds of feet above the ground. Swinging hammers like pendulums of doom guarded the gaps. He leaped, heart hammered in his chest. He landed on the first platform, the metal groaning under his weight. One down, countless more to go. Mac swung from monkey bars, his arms screaming for mercy. The ground was a distant memory, the air thin and cold. He forced himself onward, his grip slipping. He couldn't fall. Not now. He reached the next platform, his muscles trembling with fatigue. But there was no time to rest. Level 3. A field of red and green tiles stretched before him. One wrong step meant disaster. Time ticked by, each second an eternity. He memorized the pattern, his mind racing. He started to run, his breath catching in his throat. Green, red, green, green. He reached the end just as the timer buzzed. He plunged into the next challenge. Water everywhere, cold, unforgiving water. He clutched a Feastable's chocolate bar. The sweet scent, a reminder of what was at stake. He slipped, went under. The chocolate bar bobbed tantalizingly out of reach. He had one chance. He lunged, his fingers brushing the chocolate. He had it. The rolling logs awaited. 200 feet above the ground. Mac's stomach churned. He clutched the money bags, their weight a comfort. He took a step onto the first log. It rolled beneath his feet. He fought for balance, his arms windmilling. He edged forward, one agonizing step at a time. He reached the final level. It was a blur of trapeze bars, a dizzying wall of death, and those terrifying swinging hammers. He pushed himself harder than he ever thought possible. His body screamed in protest, but his spirit refused to break. He clung to the shrinking umbrella cookies, the distance between them growing ever wider. His fingers ached, his grip failing. He saw his family. Their faces, pale dots in the distance, were filled with concern. But their presence fueled him. He would not disappoint them. He would not disappoint himself. With a final, desperate lunge, he reached the platform. Silence. Then an eruption of sound. Mac had done it. He had conquered the beast, $800,000. But it was the feeling of triumph that truly mattered. He had faced his fears and emerged victorious. He looked at the money. It was more than he could ever need. He thought of his friends, of the struggles they faced. They had supported him through thick and thin. He knew what he had to do. He would share. He would use the money to make a difference in their lives. Because true victory wasn't about the money, it was about the journey, the resilience, and the people who stood by you every step of the way. And as he looked around at the cheering faces, Mac knew that this was just the beginning.